I'm sure she cries herself to sleep at night.
It didn't concern me then.
I get it. You only have so much room for information.
We have a lot of stuff in our folder for this being such a short meeting. I've got a lot of stuff pulled up.
Is this book, right?
No, this isn't even in there.
I
It's
know,
just
that's what I said,
oh,
it's just as thick and.
oh, yes, it really is. I was like, wow, really?
Yeah, we can give it to him.
Good morning.
Call this meeting to order, the Fremont County Board of Commissioners. If you'd please rise and stand us for invocation by Joe Garkovich from the Mercy Today Ministries, followed by the pledge.
Alicia's here.
Oh, Alicia's here. Okay, join Alicia. Thank you.
Well, Lord, we just come before you, and we're so grateful for who you are and how you work in our lives. Lord, we thank you for this community. Lord, you have blessed us with so many resources, and we just give glory to you for that. Lord, help us be good stewards, and we just pray for wisdom right now. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, thank both of you for coming for that invocation.
Mr. Chairman, I think it's wonderful that we have people, multiple people in
This
our
is
audience who are
great.
willing to pray for us.
Absolutely.
So thank you both.
All right, roll call, please.
Commissioner McFall,
Present.
Commissioner Bell,
Present?
Commissioner Payne,
Present?
County Attorney Jackson,
Present.
County Manager Bryant,
Present.
Planning and Zoning Director Garrett.
Present.
All right, first item, approval of the agenda. I do not know of any changes.
Mr. Chair, I also am unaware of any changes that we need to make to today's agenda. Therefore, I move to approve today's agenda as presented.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded to approve the agenda. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Payne.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
On to the consent agenda. There are no public hearings being scheduled at this time.
With that, Mr. Chair, I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve consent agenda. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Payne.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
On to administrative and informational for staff and elected officials. First, we have the county treasurer semi-annual report. Ms. Kathy Elliott. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, so we'll start with the semi-annual report. There's not a lot that sticks out. We are a little ahead of last year at the same time. And it's hard to pinpoint exactly where, because a lot of them are just kind of up and down in there. But the good news is we are higher than we were. Our ending balance is higher than it was a year ago.
That is good news. Thank you.
Yes. Is there any questions on that?
I have no questions,
I do
gentlemen.
not. We have
No.
an intense look. Hold on. No?
Good.
Okay.
All right, Mr.
I know.
Chair, I move to accept the county treasurer's semi-annual report.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to accept the county treasurer's semi-annual report. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And on the Public Trustee Quarterly Report, releases of deeds of trust, we did 475, and foreclosures, we initiated 8 of those. Good news is we ended at 74 for the year, so that's great news, and hopefully it just maintains or even lessens.
Weren't we up at almost 400 a few years ago?
366 was our highest.
That is really high.
Wow.
That is
Yeah.
really
So they
high.
have dropped dramatically. That's
Yes.
great news for the
That is
people of
great
Fremont
news.
County.
Yes.
It's a
I like
reflection of the economy, I believe, so.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good news. Mr. Chair, move to accept the Public Trustees Quarterly Report.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept Public Trustees Quarterly Report. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kathy.
All right, next we have County Manager Sonny Bryant.
Okay, so just a couple of meetings that I participated in over the last couple weeks. On Thursday, January 10th, I attended the Area Managers Luncheon, so it's always good to reach out to the other managers to see what's going on throughout the county. On Thursday, January 10th, Commissioner Bell, Commissioner McFall, and I participated in a conference call discussing the EPA Brownfields program. So once again, if there's anybody that has any sites that you want considered for assessment, please reach out to me and I'll get you the form that needs to be filled out to have that considered. On January 14th, Commissioner Payne, Commissioner McFall, and I attended the City-County Luncheon. So it's City of Florence, City of Canyon City, and the commissioners. We all get together and have a discussion on what's going on with each entity. So it's always good to hear what's going on in Florence and Canyon City. And then on Wednesday, January 16th, Commissioner Payne, Commissioner McFall, and I attended a meeting at City Hall here in Canyon City to discuss the possibility of a recreation center. And so we are involved in those discussions and looking at what the options might be moving forward. And then on Thursday, January 17th, I attended the Penrose Chamber of Commerce breakfast. So once again, it's good to see what's going on in the Penrose community and get involved in that area as well. So I think I've given an update on the project, so I won't give you anything else. We really don't have anything further at this time. So that's all I have for the manager's report.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sunny.
And then moving into sales and use tax. So in the month of, in November, we received $373,590, which is up $10,659 from November of last year. Year to date, we're up $83,878. The auto use tax collections came in at $85,582, which is up $7,844. And year to date, we're up we're up $101,702 year to date. We're up $83,000 in comparison to budget. The lodging tax came in at $9,030, so year to date, we're up $755. And then in the Sheriff's Department 1% sales tax collection, they came in at $249,060 in the month of November, which is up $7,106. Year to date, we're up $129,476. And last, the auto use tax collections came in at $57,028, which is up $5,256. And year to date, we're up $67,742. So everything is looking good. We're working on closing out the year, and we'll have all of that updated information here over the next couple weeks.
Very good.
Great.
Things are looking great. That's a good thing. All right, anyone else have anything?
Yes, Mr. Chair. I spent last Thursday and Friday up in Denver at the Colorado Counties Incorporated legislative sessions. I'm the chairman of the Land Use and Natural Resources Committee for Colorado Counties Incorporated. It's still early in the legislative session, so not a whole lot going on, which is always good. But coming February, March, and April, it'll heat up, and we'll see a lot of different stuff coming up. I'll go back up February 14th, February 15th, and we'll see what legislative would come up with. But not a whole lot to report, but we probably will have a whole lot going on.
It looks like it's stacking up to be.
Yeah.
Commissioner Bell?
I just would make a quick note that we have our Distinguished Citizen of the Year in our audience this morning, Mary Chamberlain. Congratulations, very well deserved.
Canyon City Chamber of Commerce.
Yes.
Distinguished Citizen of the Year. Welcome. I'm on my way to Denver tomorrow afternoon for Action 22, which is also a legislative group, Voices of Rural Colorado. So kind of like Commissioner Payne, it's just the start of the legislative season, but there's a lot of issues that are going to affect rural Colorado, and hopefully we can have a good voice up there and hopefully make things go our way instead of against us. So we'll see how that goes. That'll be Thursday and Friday. So that'll be kind of exciting too, to same situation, different organization. So any other staff reports? Seeing none, we will go to citizens who wish to address that's not on the agenda. First, I have Mr. George Story. Good morning.
Good morning, ladies
morning,
and gentlemen. As you all know, I'm against the government shutdown, but I've been through several in the past, and I'm sure in a couple of weeks we'll be up and running again. In that meantime, if you can, someone that's working for the government, if they're having a tough time, help them out a little bit. You know, do what you can. Some older folks, some to help out. That is, I'm sure the government will be up and running, and there's nothing wrong with a new recreational center or $2.5 million. Everyone have a good day.
Thanks, George.
Thanks,
Thank you, George.
That's a good point, George. The government shutdown is affecting a lot of folks in our area, and there are a lot of organizations within the Fremont County that are stepping up to help those people with food, gas cards, different things like that. The pantries, the CrossFit gyms. I competed in a deal, not really competed, but did a fundraiser Saturday with CrossFit, Florence Gym, and one from Canyon City who the money, $820 I think, was raised to go to those federal employees affected by the shutdown. So there's a lot of great stuff in the county happening to help those folks, and it's good to see that. Next we have Mary Chamberlain,
The
distinguished
distinguished
citizen of the chamber.
Yeah,
She's going
do
to talk
not
to us a
forget-
little bit about tourism.
Yes. So can you hear? I don't want that feedback. I heard
Yes.
it. You can
You're
hear
good,
it?
right there.
Okay.
Just don't move.
Well, I'm going to move because I'm
You'll
going
have to speak up a
May I,
little bit.
may I approach the bench?
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Good morning. Do we need more? Here. So for years, I've been with a 5-county group that has focused on tourism and heritage. And 3 years ago, we started a tourism summit, which actually focuses on rural. It's actually the 11 counties from here all the way down to Springfield. So this is our third tourism conference that we're doing. And I just wanted to make you aware of it, although most of you are. This year we're changing things up a bit. It's not going to be in a conference area like it has been in La Junta, and then it was in Pueblo last year. This year we're taking it on the road. We have a luxury bus line. We can only have 50 on it, but we are really excited about showcasing the communities. We're starting in La Junta, going to Walsenburg, and then Trinidad, then back to La Junta. This is a CTO, Colorado Tourism Office, just gave us a grant, which they have in the past 2 years as well. And we also include the National Park Service, the U.S. Forest Service. On the bus, we'll have experts from those and also local experts explaining about the area. We'll have like a little conference in Lathrop State Park. that will just, showcase local food, but also they'll be talking about their fire recovery in Levita and some other things. So just really showcasing that, and it is all very rural. We do get several people from Denver and other areas, which is really nice. But I'm also going to be sharing this with the chambers, but all three chambers, as well as Florence City Council, Canyon City City Council, and the Tourism Board, as well as the Fremont, Economic Development Board. We do look at this as economic development. In the past, we've had quite a few people share about economic development from DOLA and other places. So just want you to be aware that in the past, the Tourism Council has been a sponsor of this. This year we're looking at sponsors a little bit differently, but we definitely want the people that make laws and things to be aware of what we're doing, because we really are trying to bring communities together, networking, and getting information out to communities. Any questions?
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
I like the new concept.
Yeah, yeah, I do too. So, and then this cute little bus, that was a local artist that did that.
That
from
is cute.
Penrose, Sue Vincent. She did that. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of very different. We are hoping that next year Fremont County or Canyon City will put in a bid. We tried to do that this year, get them to put in a bid, but with all the votes and stuff, so it really needs to come this way. And so if you have a say with either Canyon or Fremont Tourism Board, we'd really like them to put up an RFP for that, and because I think we have a lot to showcase here. We decided to go small this year, not go big or go home. Next year will be go big or go home. We only decide on one bus this year because it's like going to be like herding cats anyway.
So next year I think we should go big and stay home.
There you go.
Yes.
Do it here.
I'm okay. Yeah.
Okay,
So
I like it.
Put that in your brains.
Okey-doke.
Okay.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Thanks, Mary.
Okay. Move on to old business. We have a resolution for the zone change, planning and zoning for file number 18-003, which was 10th Street. Change that to industrial zone the last meeting, and have the resolution number 5 for that.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve resolution number 5 for the zone change on 10th Street to industrial zone out in Penrose.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 5, accept resolution number 5.
We're approving it.
Approving? Yeah, we're approving it. Yeah, had it right the first time. File number 18-003, which is 10th Street in Penrose. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Motion carries.
On to new business. The first item on new business is a resolution recognizing Ian Yelton. Ian, would you come up, please?
Good morning.
Good morning, yes, sir.
You look good in that chair. Well, you all look good in that chair.
Thanks. So, what this is a resolution. Maybe people that have been to our meetings or watched them on TV haven't seen Ian, and that's because he's
I'm invisible.
behind the curtain back there. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, except we had to, because he kept us going and done a great job with that. What we are doing today is a resolution honoring Ian for that. And you do a great job of reading, so I'm going to let you read it.
Absolutely, I will. I would be honored. But thanks for the warning. That was awesome. Okay, let me get it out here far enough so I can actually see it.
Maybe
It's
I'll
little
have to read
tiny
it.
type. Resolution, whereas the Board of County Commissioners of Fremont County, Colorado regretfully ended professional services with Ian Yelton. And whereas Ian Yelton has been a loyal and valued recorder of the Board of County Commissioner meetings for many years, earning much respect and admiration for his extraordinary level of dedication and professionalism. And whereas Ian Yelton provided Fremont County with his valuable and trusted expertise in recording the BOCC meetings for publication, and whereas Ian Yelton's accomplishments are many and include the following: ensuring all meetings are recorded in a professional manner, promptly providing the video and audio recordings to Fremont County employees for publication to the website, quickly working to resolve microphone, camera, and other technical issues during recordings, and proving his loyalty to Fremont County with his devoted and faithful service. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of County Commissioners of Fremont County, Colorado, hereby publicly recognizes and expresses its deep appreciation and that of the residents of Fremont County to Ian Yelton for his years of devoted service to Fremont County. And be it further resolved that this resolution shall be read into the record of the Board of County Commissioners as a tribute to Ian Yelton's service, and that the official seal of Fremont County shall be affixed thereto and delivered to him. Ian, thank you so much for all you've done.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank
It's been
you.
an honor, and I've seen a lot of changes with you.
Are you going to move for approval?
Oh, yeah.
We need to do that.
Yeah.
You're getting too excited, guys.
With that, I move to approve this resolution.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the resolution recognizing Ian Yelton for years of service at Fremont County. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Now we'll come shake your hand.
I've done that work once.
Thanks. Shock you, though.
You're always shocking.
All right. On to the second item. It is a resolution appointing a county survey. At the last election. Surveyor, I'm sorry. At the last and several last elections, we have not had anybody run for county surveyor, which is an elected position in Fremont County. Therefore, we've had to appoint someone to that role. And we're going to do that again today, appoint someone to that role, and it will carry over till the next general election, which is 2020. And then hopefully, maybe at that time, we will have somebody run. If not, we'll have to do this again. So,
Is this resolution number 6?
resolution number 6, yes.
Okay. Okay, we don't have to read this whole thing, do we?
No.
No. Okay, Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve resolution number 6, appointing a Fremont County surveyor, and that would be John Kratz.
I second that with the note that I've had the opportunity to sit in my office and have a couple of discussions with Mr. Kratz. I think he's very well qualified for the job. I know he certainly is interested in doing the job. And maybe most importantly, he is licensed and he is a professional and able to do this job.
So it has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 6, appointing John Kratz as county surveyor. Any other discussion? I would like to mention that we did have other letters of interest for this position also. And after reviewing those in discussion, this is a great decision, I believe. Roll call, please.
Commissioner McFall? Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Oh.
It's okay. It's okay.
Thank you.
Now, you're going to get sworn in. Miss Brenda Jackson will do that.
John Kratz,
do solemnly swear by the ever-living God
do solemnly swear by the ever-loving God
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Colorado,
the Constitution of the State of Colorado,
and the laws of the State of Colorado,
and the laws of the State of Colorado,
and will faithfully perform the duties
and will faithfully perform the duties
of the office of Surveyor for Fremont County, Colorado,
and will faithfully perform the duties of the office of the Surveyor of Fremont, Colorado,
upon which I am about to enter,
upon which I'm about to enter
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson. Thank you, John, for being here. Congratulations. All right, on to item number 3, which is a resolution and letter of support for a funding commitment to the Colorado Department of Higher Education Colorado Opportunity Scholarship Initiative, or COSI for the acronym for that. Fremont County, we have once again set aside $3,000 for added match money, which the other money comes from the Colorado Department of Higher Education. We have a resolution pertaining to that, as well as a support letter which will go to the state showing that the applicants here in Fremont County deserve this money. We've had, I don't even know how many applicants over the year, but several students have received this. It's not only high school students, but students involved with PCC Fremont campus are also eligible for this scholarship. Is there anything else anybody would like to say about that?
Commissioner Bell's been involved with that more than I have.
Well, I have been in the past.
you
Commissioner Fall has taken over for me in that group. The one thing I would say is this is a really important opportunity, I think, for students who may be financially disadvantaged. This is a matching scholarship, so any scholarships that they receive can be matched up to, I believe, $1,000 each. And so if you're unaware as a parent or as a student, if you are not aware of the COSI scholarship, you need to go to your high school and get with your guidance counselor. In addition, if there are any homeschooled students who are college bound, please come in and have a conversation with Commissioner McFall, and he can set you on the right path.
It is always available on Fremont County's website, also fremontco.com. So if anybody wants to look on there, the application is actually available online.
All right, perfect.
So,
All right, with that, Mr. Chair, I move to approve resolution number 7 and a letter of support with a $3,000 funding commitment for Fremont County to participate in the Colorado Department of Higher Education's Colorado Opportunity Scholarship Initiative.
Second.
has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 7 and a letter of support for the COSI scholarship. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Payne.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
We're not the only ones who have a rough morning occasionally.
It's okay. All right, item number 4, approval of the 2019 contract with the Humane Society of Fremont County.
Okay, this actually comes out of the sheriff's budget, is that correct?
That is
Yes, so
correct.
this is more of a housekeeping item. So we did go through the process during the budget cycle of reviewing the contract and having discussions with Mr. Ray out at the Humane Society. And it was a budgeted item. However, I did not get it on the agenda for approval. And so this is approving that contract beginning January 1st. And it's for the 2019 contract year.
I would just like to ask, have you had a conversation with our new sheriff concerning this?
Yes, and he is aware of the agreement, and yes.
Okay, thank you.
So this is all, because it's dated July of 2018, but it's for 20.
That's when he signed it.
That's when he signed it,
Yeah,
okay.
That's when Doug Ray signed it.
But it's for 2019, okay.
Correct.
All right. Okay, so I make a motion that we approve the agreement for the Humane Society in Fremont County, or the impound agreement for 2019.
Would you add the amount to that?
Oh, okay, I'll get to that.
$74,499.
Where do you see that?
Page 2.
Walmart?
D. Right there.
There it is, $74,499.
Second.
So it has been moved and seconded to approve the 2019 contract with the Humane Society of Fremont County in the amount of $74,499. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye?
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Well, that's not too bad. We've got 2 minutes till 10 o'clock, because that was the end of the agenda. But we do have public hearings. We need to wait just a couple of minutes, so we'll take a short recess till 10 o'clock.
A very short.
Very
recess.
short.
Very short.
Thank you, Ian.
Thank you.
Bye, Ian. It's been a pleasure. But it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. Yeah. Better to do it when you don't have to than not do it when you should.
Exactly. Don't need that one.
It's one of those no harm, no foul, so.
I know, that's terrible. It's very unwieldy.
He does, he works very well. Right.
Okay, it is 10 o'clock.
You have to call us back to order, please.
We are back on the air. All right. Call this meeting back to order. The hour is 10 o'clock. We do have 3 public hearings scheduled here. So we will start with the first one, which is a request for a minor subdivision, 18-002, for Western Oasis Minor Subdivision. Looks like we have Dr. Valentoni.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And as County Attorney Jackson, you suggested I just do,
One at a time. Did we say?
no,
wanna
you said to
the-
do all at once.
We're going to do them one at a time, yeah. So the first one is just for the
Subdivision.
minor subdivision.
This appears to be news to you.
Yes, this is news to me. 'Cause
Did that
we
throw you a
spoke-
loop there?
Yeah, because she said to put it all together and she was going to guide you to approve them separately.
We decided not to do that when we were talking. I said it would be too confusing to go through because of the different standards for the different things. So we had talked about it, but decided against it. At least
Okay.
that's what
This-
Sean and I remember,
Well,
so.
that's when I was, okay, that's not what, okay. I missed that conversation. So, let's see.
You're good at winging this, though.
I'm winging it.
Okay.
All right. Well, good morning.
Good
And I
morning.
will
Good morning.
start with the minor subdivision. This is for Western Oasis. Hi, I'm Angela Bellantoni, representing Mr. Shane Cooper.
Good morning, Shane.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And he is Western Oasis LLC. And he purchased this parcel of undeveloped land in 2018. Mr. Cooper owns Dirt Guys LLC, which is currently operating out of Cotopaxi. So he is a longtime resident of Fremont County. Mr. Cooper has a vision for this parcel, and that vision requires subdividing it into 2 lots. Lot 1 is the north portion, which is 11.26 acres, and the access will be the access and much improved access. But the current location will be where the utilities access the property off of Oak Creek Grade. There is also because of the east to west aspect of Lot 1, across the north part of the parcel, there will also be, where that little finger is right there, a second access, which will be a private driveway that commences at the very south end of South 9th Street and Poplar. Is that South Street and Poplar? At the corner of the cemetery. And that access will be an agreement with the Canyon City Rodeo Association, and there is a draft of that in your packet. And upon approval, should you decide to approve, then Mr. Cooper will pursue the details through attorneys and get that recorded access. Parcel 2 is the south parcel. Oh, let's go back. Parcel 1 is pretty much the toe of the hill. If we're familiar with this site, this is a hill that was excavated on the southwest side, facing towards the southwest. That excavation is not seen from Oak Creek grade or the north. You have to go down around the backside. Okay, thank you, the backside to see the excavation. Parcel 1 is pretty much the utility lines that are there. That's the boundary, as it would. Okay. So parcel 2 is the south portion, and that's 21.31 acres. And that parcel is the knoll. How about that? That's what I'll call it. It's the hill, the knoll. And that access will be from the private driveway extending from the corner of South 9th and Poplar. What else do I need to say on this one? I'm following your direction, County Attorney Jackson.
Water and sewer?
Yes, you have an agreement in your packet for water. You also have an agreement with Fremont Sanitation District for sanitation service. You also have an acknowledgement from Black Hills Energy because Mr. Cooper is hoping to go all electric. Okay. And in today's world of digital communication, you have a rainbow of opportunity, right? For TV, data, phone, you just never know.
Okay, staff report.
Okay, the department has reviewed the application and found it to be complete and a true representation of the request as stated herein. The department finds that all requirements per the Fremont County zoning and development regulations will be satisfied by this application. There is 5 contingency items. The first is issuance of a County Department of Transportation permit for access off County Road 143. We'll need an executed deed of easement for the access there off of 9th and Popular, the executed ratification and consent form, a plat revision to include a statement regarding the survey, mining, and service features, and then documentation from Colorado Department of Transportation as is within the 500 feet.
Okay.
Okay.
Questions?
Well, yeah, the first one you says off of County Road 143, why, on the first contingency item, but the access is going to be off of 9th Street.
There'll be 2 accesses. Lot 1 will be off of County Road 143.
Oh, right,
Lot 2
okay.
will be off of.
I'm with you now,
Utility deal down there.
because it's splitting. Okay, right, okay.
So I see no waiver requests here.
No.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions at this time? Okay, this is a public hearing, so I will open the public hearing. If there's anybody that wishes to speak on this minor subdivision, now is the time. I don't see anybody. So we will close the public hearing.
Good public hearing.
Any other questions, commissioners? Anything?
I do have a comment. I simply would like to note, although no one is here to speak about this zone change this morning, we did all receive a letter from David and Holly Hill. We all have access to that. It's in our packets, and they are opposed to the zone change. Their reasoning is the proposed zone change will decrease property value.
And that's the zone change issue, not a
So-
minor subdivision issue. So I will
okay.
address that as zone change.
Okay,
Different issue, or different.
Because we're
Yeah.
doing this separately.
different number.
Good job.
Because I'm winging it.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
wishes, commissioners?
Sure, I'll start.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Chair, I move to approve minor subdivision 18-002 Western Oasis, located at the intersection of South 9th Street and Poplar Avenue, south of Highway 115, east of County Road 143. This motion does include all 5 contingency items as written in our paperwork, as well as described by Director Garrett.
Second.
Okay, it has been moved and seconded to approve request for the minor subdivision for Western Oasis, MS 18-002 with the 5 contingencies as stated in the motion and in our packet. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, on to number 2, which is a request for a zone change, 18-004 for Western Oasis RV Park. It's a request for approval of a zone change from agricultural living to travel trailer and park campground. Same location, same property.
Good morning. So happy to be here again.
Good morning, Dr.
We have
Bellantoni.
Dr. Bellantoni with us again.
So the zone change is lot to the south portion of the property. Just to back up a little bit, I would like to just remind us of the adjoining uses in the neighborhood in the area. So the adjoining uses to the north of parcel number 1 are the rodeo grounds. There is also a strip right abutting to the northwest, some agricultural buildings. And then we have industrial, light industrial and some industrial to the west off of McDaniel Boulevard. We have a small convenience store. We have a railroad line. We also have some residential over the hill and down by Oak Creek Grade. And then we have to the south abutting some former land of the Cotter Mill, now Colorado Legacy, into that, bringing land into a use and community development. So this proposed use is, well, this proposed area, I kind of call it a fringe of the Canyon City proper, because it is on the kind of the edge of, it is the county, but I mean it's there where the city is coming. There are portions of the city to the west. It's also a transition area between commercial and residential. So the agricultural buildings to the north, the convenience store and all, there's also a city water tank in the very southwest where the little hand is that has been there for quite some time. All right, the zone change. This vision, Mr. Cooper's vision. Mr. Cooper's vision is an extended stay resort RV park. Mr. Cooper, oh please, Mr. Cooper hopes to attract snowbirds. Do you have the, well, let's go there. That's good. Snowbirds, and if you want to, sunbirds. So snowbirds from the north during the winter, or potentially sunbirds that want to get out of the heat from Arizona in the summer.
That's what they call those.
Well, I just made that up.
I didn't know that.
Well, it's going to be in the dictionary next time.
It's a thing.
It is. All right. So this isn't a 1 or 2 day turnaround sort of RV park, his vision. His vision is to have a minimum lease life. I'm sure if Mr. Cooper was standing here, and he will be, he will say he wants a 5-year lease minimum on these spaces, because that's how he wants his clients to be happy and stay. I'm sure that the initial business plan is something more like 60 or 90 days or something that's a season, so that the visitors are here for a season so they can enjoy our community. The development, if we look down the column on the right side, to the right of the, you know, I have this little thing. Should I use this instead? Possibly. I'll try. Hey. So we have RV resort sites, your standard. We have an RV resort cabin site, which will be the perimeter of the proposed development.
Uh-oh.
He's trying to get me there.
Okay.
And then we will have the RV resort site with additional parking. And those are these in the interior. Your standard sites are right here. And then around the outside are the ones with this innovative cabin, which allows you to have your RV or whatever recreational vehicle you have. And then you have a way to set up chairs or whatever you'd like, and you could come down here and have a little cabin and some enclosure for protection, but you can see just a little more space outside that's protected. There will be a parking area right here for patrons' toys, and those toys include boats, ATVs, and those sorts of things that you might download from the back of a big RV, and they can park them here. There will also be a patron services building right here. And in the patron services building, there will be a laundry and showers, trash, those sorts of things that a community would need. Also, you can see on this drawing here, around the outside here, that's not topo. Those are hiking trails or biking trails that Mr. Cooper is proposing so that people actually enjoy the hillside around the outside of the park. Access for this, because of the size of the RVs, and Mr. Cooper is an RV owner, I'm not, I don't know what I'm talking about, is that the access on this side is too hard to maneuver coming off of Oak Creek and hanging that hard left or right or whatever it is. So that's why he is proposing this off of South 9th Street, and RVs can come in more directly south into the property and maneuver more easily. This site, and now we can go potentially, we can go to the one that says Fremont GIS if we want to, just to get us started. This site was the back side. You can see this disturbance right here. This happened in the late 90s. I think we all remember that, don't we? No?
I do.
Okay, yes, okay, I do too.
We don't all.
You don't all? Well, all I'm gonna say is there was some excavation there, and it's been like this since the late 90s, moving right along. This RV park area, let's go to the other one, please. Thank you. You can see, so here is the area right here. It's quite big. You can see where the access road has been cut, and that's been there also for almost 2 decades now. And that's the road Mr. Cooper will use, what's already there. And you can see there's the cemetery and the fairgrounds. This is a kind of a little private area if you come down here. When Mr. Garrett shows you his video, you'll see it's a nice private, it has a vista off to the south and southeast to the wet mountains. Now to address the, can we go back to figure 1? Sorry for the back. So this is the Hills own, I think, this property here, according to the assessor. This is 750 feet from the corner of development across Oak Creek Grade to the west boundary of Oak Creek Grade's right-of-way. So the concern of Mr. Hill, and figure 2, please, is that it will reduce their property values and be a problem for their home. So what I did is there is a ridge line here, and you saw this in the packet as well. It's a topographical ridge line. And I went to Google Earth, and these are the elevations, 5624, 5644, 42, 36, and I think that's 27. That's the ridge line. Inside here where this is developed is 5608 elevation feet above sea level. And the parcel owned by the Hills is down here at 5519. So that's almost 100-foot change in elevation. And so then I stood here on Mr. Hill's property and I looked around. And from here, there is the industrial development. Used to be, I just lost their name. make the turns.
Portec.
Thank you.
Now in a row, right?
Excuse me, now in a roll.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that was the first Portec plant. Thank you. That's how old you are, Commissioner Bell.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Oops. And then right here is the little convenience store. And up on the hill is Berry Trucking, 55, another industrial. So this is right adjacent to this industrial park, and we have our transfer station is here. And so then I went to look for residential properties, which on the east side of Oak Creek Grade, there's a home that was built in 1997, and it's at an elevation of 5543. And then the one that's on the hill, the beautiful home on the hill, built in 1999, is at an elevation of 5583. So all of those are below the ridge line. And again, Mr. Cooper's proposal is those deluxe cabin sites that have the decks coming out flat and then a place underneath to sit. That's what's going to be constructed on the edge. Most of this development, this and all of this, well, I know, will be down here. Most of this development will be down at the grade level of that road where it comes into the excavated area. The other thing that I did is based on our county assessor's website, and I only did what was available to me, is I looked at the home values, and the assessor's records go back to 2015. And the parcel, this is assessed value for the one on the top of the hill from 1999. In 2015, it was assessed at approximately $272,000. And in 2018, it was assessed at $306,000. If we do this one here, 1997, the one that was built lower below, in 2015, its assessed value was $204,000 approximately, and in 2018 is assessed at $227,000. So the assessed values did go up. And those structures were built in the 90s, and I would like us all to just pause for a moment and think about our community in the 1990s, turn of the millennium, and what was going on in that area of our community. And yet those property values continue to rise. And with Colorado Legacy Land coming in and their mission to repurpose that area, I have all the faith in the world in Colorado Legacy Land. I believe that area is going to continue to improve. So I believe that, in fact, things will get better in that area. The other point to note is right here is a railroad line that runs along the back side of this. And I know that the railroad recently vacated the crossing to the old zinc smelter to the Wilkerson building owned by the Howards. We know how long that took. There is a railroad line here that is not active, but I think it ultimately goes into the Cotter Mill. We know that that's not working. So there is a potential if there's a recession. Remember what happened on this line back when 2008 hit. So this is a commercial. These residences are here. They were built when it was here. The commercial area was Portec. There used to be a coffin factory over there as well. The transfer station's over there. Mr. Cooper's development is on the top side, back of this ridge, and it's a extended stay resort RV community. And that's what I have on the zone change.
Any questions so far?
I do have a question. You've indicated his desire is eventually for a minimum of a 5-year stay.
Oh, no, that's a pipe dream.
Okay. But currently, he believes he would be looking at 60 to 90 days. Is that what you said?
That's a beginning point. I don't know that he's actually decided, but he will speak to that, Mr. Cooper.
My question really is, if you could answer this, please. What assurance do we have that you will not turn this into a single night with people coming and going and coming and going all the time?
I don't want to run anything like that.
Into the microphone, please.
Yeah, I don't want to run it as a night-to-night deal. I'm not looking for a whole bunch of employees anyways. But as far as a guarantee, I don't know what you would be looking for to guarantee that. Is what I was looking for is more at least 30-day stays. A lot of people don't want to come. Even if it was a 2-week stay minimum, I would probably still be okay with it because certain people spend 2-3 weeks here and then they move on. But I ultimately, I'd rather have it set up as at least 6 months stay, and then I got the same customers and they got the same contract every year. So once it's set up, I'd rather have half of them stay empty and just have half of them stay that way. If I go to a night-to-night, you lose all of your extended stay people. Everywhere I've stayed all over the United States, they don't allow night-to-night because you just get people that don't take care of it. So.
Okay, thank you.
So in other words, you're going to market it to those folks that, like she said, sunbirds and snowbirds.
Yeah.
And try to get them for those extended periods of time.
So on the subject of sanitation, will each lot or each place have its own sanitation, or will you have a transfer station, or what will you have?
The cabins that hang off the edge have to have a pump to pump it up, and then it all goes down the road. All down the main entrance is where the service line will come in. So the whole thing will be hooked into one city sewer, and it'll all run out. The only pumps will be in if we have plumbing in like the cabin, because they're like almost a walkout cabin, so everybody's got really good views off that edge. But as of right now, there ain't going to be none in there unless someone, because some of these people, I already have certain customers that are wanting them. So if they requested one when I was building it, I would probably put just a little lift station, a tank and a lift station on a valve, and then it would just pump into the line.
Okay.
And that's Fremont Sanitation then?
Yeah, it all goes into Fremont.
All right, thank you.
I have another question, probably perhaps for Dr. Bellantoni, since you're paying her the big bucks to do this. So, could you address fire protection?
Oh, yes. I spoke with the chief, gave him a preliminary plan, and he passed it on to, I'm going to use the wrong title, Mr. Foster. Joel, yes. And so based on our preliminary diagram, that's how they commented here. And upon approval, whatever other conditions you do, then Mr. Kratz, who is our surveyor and designer here, will pin those details down, and we will resubmit that to the local fire department for them to look at, because we're already agreed to fire hydrants, already agreed to 24-foot wide, already talked about the flow of the trucks. Are you asking about the letter securing services? Did I just give you a
that's
green?
really what I wanted to know, was that, just to address it, I know it's in our paperwork, I've mostly seen it, but I just kind of want it public that you have looked at those things, you will be installing hydrants, and you also understand the need for wider roads and access for big trucks.
And that's why there's only 17 spaces, and that sort of thing has already been accounted for, because they need those extra wide. Plus, the RVs are not
just
small.
as big, yeah.
So they need that space too. We don't want to make it cramped, and they're not going to want to come as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And the incline going up isn't so much for the RVs and like fire trucks?
Nope.
Okay. All right.
Okay, any other questions for them right now? Okay, staff report, please.
This department has reviewed the application and found it to be complete and accurate, be complete in a true representation of the requests as stated herein. The department finds that all requirements for the Fremont County zoning and development regulations will be satisfied by this application. There is 5 contingency items. The first is the executed deed of easement for the access there off of South 9th and Popular, water and sewer utility acceptance, site plan revisions as redlined, compliance with the county engineer comments, and compliance with fire protection district requirements.
Okay, any other questions right now? No. Again, this is a public hearing, so I will open the public hearing. If anybody has any comments or questions on this part of this. Yes, ma'am. Will you come, ma'am? Will you come to the podium?
My name is Anna Paulino. I am one of your neighbors. Actually, two neighbors. We own the property abutting his, what's the address? 138 County Road and 143. We also own 882 County Road 143, which I believe is one of the two houses Dr. Bellatoni may have been talking about. My concern, and I'm hoping that he can address, is this going to be a long-term snowbird, or is this going to be low-income housing? And because that's very open property back there, he's talking about bringing in hiking trails. A lot of it is private property. It's privately owned by all the houses. It's also privately owned by the former Cotter. So there isn't a lot of hiking back there if it's public. It's in other areas. But most of all, my question is, how are we going to avoid it becoming low-income housing?
Okay.
I think that's a great question, so thank you.
Thank you.
And could you fill out one of those forms for us?
One of those forms there, fill it out for us.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, anyone else? Nope. Okay, I will close the public hearing. And if you would like to address that question, please.
Yeah, we appreciate those comments. It is private ground, and those hiking trails that are delineated on the zone change, those around the outside of the hill, that's private. Those are for the patrons of the resort RV park.
So in other words, those trails are on your property?
On his property, right. Yeah, those aren't open, and he's going to have a secure fence because of, a gate, probably a pass gate, right? In today's world, that's easy to do. And regarding the patrons, his patrons, he is going to be the gatekeeper, if you will, and he will have them sign a lease, and of course he will evaluate and see who is coming in for to enjoy his services, his RV resort. So Mr. Cooper will be the screen of his, and he is, again, a Fremont County resident. He wants to be a resort RV park available for long-term stay. He has no intention of transient or homeless. That's not his. They are not going to be able to pay his fees. So he has expectations for his clientele.
So there is no intention for it to be a low-income housing project?
No intention for it to be a low-income housing project.
Well, no, like up in Breckenridge, there's certain RVs that can only go into certain RV parks. And if you don't have that, then you get rejected right there at the gate. Class A or Class B or something, or I'm not sure about their classifications. Will you have something like that also?
Yeah, we will. There's Airstreams that are, I don't do a size, but some of the new Airstreams are nicer than the big, $1 million motorhomes. But there is definitely we haven't got it in writing yet as far as you can't do a value really, but like the year, we'll have a year in there because I don't want nothing run down. It's got to be something nice. If I rent one, if I lease one out to one, too rough, and it just kills it for all of them. So, yep, they got to be all clean and decent.
I know this happened because I tried to get into that Breckenridge RV park with my trailer, and they told me to take a hike. So
I know.
It wasn't classy enough.
That's why I say you can't use a year because they refurbish a lot of the Airstreams. So, and they're way nicer than some of the brand new ones. So it's more of the gatekeeper's call when they come in if they look,
Yeah.
It's tough, but there's no other way to do it.
So what kind of lighting plan is there going to be for this place?
There is a lighting plan, isn't there?
Well,
there is.
yeah, it's in here, but
There's
it's-
going to be some probably low down on the ground next to the on the sites that have the cabins on it. They do have some directional lighting. We're talking about great big lighting poles. Is that what you're asking about? I think there's a lighting plan, isn't there? I'm pretty sure there is.
Yeah, it's in here, but it's vague, to say the least.
Probably,
very engineering language
Yeah.
type
It's
stuff.
not layman's terms, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
And Sean, maybe you can help with that
Here we
as
go.
well.
53J1. The lighting, dang, excuse me. This is tiny, isn't it? I'm seeing lights around the patron service building.
The only lights that we had
Are
talked.
those lights?
Yeah, the only lights we had talked is like on the corners of each lot, but they'll all be like 6 feet tall. This whole pad sets, like 14 feet underneath the whole rim, all the way around, so none of the lights could be visible. Maybe from town, you could see like the edge of the, the lights on the campers that are setting on the edge all the way around, but there ain't gonna be no big light poles tall. I mean, it's all, the only lights we had planned, like the Patriot Building, will have obviously lights on towards the park, but not on the back. On the back side, of course, there's a hill there anyways, but towards the back. So as far as tall light poles, we didn't have none. I don't want it to look industrial. I want it to look cozy instead. So they were supposed to be 6 feet tall. So is what we had planned.
Not to be confused with that.
Just so someone don't catch a corner.
Pathfinding.
Yeah, more or less.
Lights, more or less,
pathfinding
right.
lights and stuff like that.
Okay.
Now, every motorhome or camper, they have their own light. They're probably like 6 feet on the side of them.
Mhm.
But they're not very bright. They're just a walk type light, path light. And ultimately, I guess I can talk about the whole project, right? Well, okay, at the end. Okay.
And then, Sean, in this, no, Sean. Sorry. In the contingencies where the redlined, the drainage plan, that's what Don was referring to?
Yeah, so the comments will be for the drainage plan.
And,
Yeah.
and we're on draft 3 of that. We're almost done.
Okay.
Yes.
'Cause as you know, we have had recently flooding issues, so both of you are well aware of that, so just need a...
We are really down to the design is good, Mr. Moore has, and our engineer, Mr. Jessic. It's down for supporting calculations. That's what Mr. Moore is looking for, so it's really almost done.
Okay, commissioners, anything else?
Okay, Mr. Chair. Make a motion that we approve zone change 18-004 for Western Oasis Resort RV Park with the 5 contingency items that Sean had mentioned. An executed deed of easement for access off of 9th Street, water and sewer utility acceptance, site plan revisions as redlined, compliance with the county engineer comments, compliance with the fire protection district requirements.
Mr. Payne, could you add a statement of justification for this rezoning?
Right, I had that right in front of me here, and thank you for reminding me. I would go with item D, the proposed zone change will be in conformance with the comprehensive or master plan for the area.
I believe that's the one that the Fremont County Planning Commission also recommended, correct?
They did recommend that.
Okay, I'll second.
Okay, it has been moved and seconded to approve zone change 18-004 for Western Oasis RV Park with the 5 contingencies and the statement of justification. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Payne.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And ma'am, I hope that answered your question.
We will need a resolution number for that, too.
Resolution number 8. On to number 3 is a resolution, or a request for SRU 18-004 for Fremont Storage, special review use permit for mini storage development, same location. Dr. Bellantoni.
Good morning.
Well, good
It's a pleasure to be here again.
Still.
Still. All right, Lot 1, the north side, the special review use, Fremont storage, again, Mr. Cooper's vision. Again, this is in that fringe of our Canyon City proper that I mentioned prior to. Immediately north of this, again, you may need to close your eyes and visualize the toe of the air. This is all undeveloped with the exception of the utility lines, and of course this is a transfer station. And then electrical, not to be confused with solid waste. It's right here. It's good, just stay. Okay, let's go over here. We're good here too. I think this is the access right here. No, or is this it right here?
It's right up there.
Right there?
Yeah.
That's the access off Oak Creek Grade. Are you sure it's that far north? Okay, that's the substation right here. So the proposed area is this flat right here, over to here. 2 accesses, as I mentioned in the minor subdivision, one off of Oak Creek Grade, and the second coming off of South 9th Street mentioned prior. The reason for that, so Mr. Cooper's vision is mini storage, and of course this is a phased development, right? Most of these storage units are, they put up a building, wait for it to be filled, okay. So Mr. Cooper envisions 3 typical storage buildings, typical size residential. You and I might go purchase those, rent a unit. In conjunction with the RV park, Mr. Cooper has proposed an RV storage building. And you can see this better in your site plan right here. Those are bigger units, taller units, and that is that for someone who wants to only be a snowbird and not a sunshine bird, they might want to pull out of their unit, park it here, store it. I don't know. In addition to this use, Mr. Cooper is proposing on this east end of this building would be watchman's quarters, an office to operate the storage unit, a little shop for any sort of repair, maintenance activities might be needed for the storage unit. Again, it's a storage unit, so there's a security gate and there's a fenced area. This portion is to the toe of the hill. Of course, there'll have to be some leveling, don't get me wrong, but Mr. Cooper, he plans to preserve the hill. That's his, because remember, that's also where the private hiking trails are going to be, so he wants that natural beauty and topography. Currently along this is really the utility lines that you see, the substation you see, and then right here there are some agricultural buildings. The main access is off Oak Creek Grade. There is an access there now. Of course, Mr. Cooper will improve that as required by Mr. Moore, county engineer. Better culvert meets with the requirements of the drainage plan. But the secondary access really is if anybody wants to store an RV in here, again, that access becomes kind of tough to maneuver, and this access will allow them to come down and utilize those RV storage areas. I got nothing.
Okay, any questions so far?
No.
Staff report, please.
The department has reviewed the application and found it to be complete and a true representation of the request as stated herein. The department finds that all requirements for the Fremont County zoning and development regulations will be satisfied by this application. There is 6 contingency items. The first is the executed deed of easement for the access off of South 9th and Popular, water utility acceptance, site plans revisions, the red line, compliance with county engineer comments, compliance with the fire protection district requirements, and issuance of a county DOT access permit.
Okay, Okay, any questions for Mr. Garrett?
I see the 6 parking spaces and 1 ADA space. Does it need to be hard surfaced for the ADA?
Yes.
Yes, it will need to be hard surface.
I
Okay.
think it is, isn't it? Doesn't it say asphalt? Does it? It does, doesn't it? I think so.
The
Okay.
ADA space has to be hard surface.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, any other questions at this time? Okay, again, this is a public hearing, so I will open the public hearing. If anybody has any comments or wish to speak, now is the time. Just state your name again, please.
Hi, Anna Paulino again, neighbor. Again, if we're talking about high dollar usage and we're talking about hiking trails, I don't believe that hiking through storage units, mini storage units or RV storage units is really conducive to hiking or enjoying the mountains. So I'm hearing a little dichotomy here of use. Are we doing a high-end RV park or are we building storage units? Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, anyone else? Okay, I will close the public hearing. And if you would like to address that, please.
Yes. So there are 2 lots. Lot 2 is the RV park. Lot 2 is where there are the hiking trails, and those hiking trails have access at the RV park. There is a fence. There will be a fence at the perimeter of Lot 1, as is typical of storage units, which is a separate parcel and does not have any hiking trails on it, and it is used for mini storage. So 2 complete uses, separated with fence.
And then I believe I saw not just the fence, but the natural terrain buffer, so to speak, between those 2 properties, right?
They will only grade what is necessary for drainage, parking, because Mr. Cooper wants to maintain the ambiance of that hill for his RV park residents and the use of that.
Okay,
Hill.
so that's the distinction between the 2 parcels. Okay, any other questions, comments?
I do have a question for Director Garrett. Watchman's quarters here was mentioned, and I just want to double check and confirm that this is an allowable use.
Yes, watchman quarters are of an allowable use, and it will be attached to the units as well.
Attached to the units?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
As well as the shop.
Thanks.
And then just a little bit of the land goes west of 143, is that right?
Oh, that little,
right there?
yeah, that is part of Lot 1. That's just that little handle. If we go back to the legal description that was such a challenge back during the minor subdivision days, that was part of the reason, in that a survey done many years ago actually went out and did a meets and bounds and included that piece, better delineated that and pulled it into the legal description. Yeah, that's on the west side of the road. There's no proposed development in it.
Well, what I'm leading up to, isn't there a drainage there, and would Mr. Cooper be responsible for that clean out of that drainage that's right there? We had quite a flood there last July, so that's what I'm asking.
The drainage, it drops off, it's more of the slope on the side of the drainage. Our property don't go into the very bottom of the drainage.
It doesn't go into the drainage?
Or like about where it drops off, it goes level off the road, maybe 30 feet, and it drops off.
Okay, well, that's my question, if you had the drainage or not. Okay.
We went and looked at it, but.
All right,
Yeah, the whole bottom is off of my lot.
okay. All right. I'm good.
Okay, anything else? Wishes?
No, he would like
Sure.
to give you an
Okay.
overview.
I was just trying to help these people out.
Absolutely.
As far as this project, the top of that hill was an old quarry, an illegal quarry, so I was looking for a place for storage units from the very start. So we looked all over town. I mean, I could put them right on Highway 50.
Mr. Cooper, address the mic.
I don't know how you
Address us, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thanks.
Okay, that's fine, sorry. But as far as the overall lot, I want to do storage to start with. But as far as that old mine on top, I mean, the only way to clean it up, that was just a thought that I had that we could use the whole property. I mean, it's my waste of money, I guess, if we put it in and nobody likes it, but when you're standing on top, you see all the city. I mean, you have to look at the substation, the transfer station, all that, but when I sit up there, I don't, you know, unless you just want to stare right at that, you can see the whole city, so it's not something that most people overlook. I think if they don't want to overlook it, then they won't be there, I guess, you know. Doesn't matter to me, it's just a nice spot. And as far as our storage units being right underneath it, they don't see that. They'll see the transfer station maybe, and farther out, the fairgrounds and that. So I just thought it was best use for the whole property, so.
So it's a pretty ambitious venture, I think.
Yeah, it is. My storage will be first. Yeah. Utilities up to the top of the hill be second. As far as the campground, honestly, it'll probably take me, you know, maybe not this summer, but next summer. It'd be a good project. My storage buildings will be this summer. As soon as it's ready, I'm going to put them up quick. I just got to get them done.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
What's this resolution? 8?
9.
9.
9. I don't know where that feedback's coming from, but
I probably messed something up.
can you guys adjust that in there at all? Thank you. There it went.
Probably working on it.
Is it that one? Okay. It's gone now, so we're good.
All right.
Sort of.
Commissioners?
Okay.
Are you ready for a motion?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Chair, I would move for approval of SRU 18-004 for Fremont Storage, a mini storage permit that will include RV as well as watchman's quarters and the different things that have been discussed today. This motion does include the 6 contingency items that have been detailed on our paperwork as well as by Director Garrett today. I also would note there are no waiver requests included with this application.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve SRU 18-004 for Fremont Storage with 6 contingency items. I guess that's about it. Is there any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Good luck.
Yes, good luck.
Yeah, we wish you the very
Mr.
best.
Cooper. That is the end of our deal. We are adjourned.